Hello there, welcome back to The Closet Historian. Today I want to talk to you all about my summer sewing plans. This year my sewing plan needs some real structure, like school assignments almost, or homework. Instead of planning many projects and doing lovely fabric hauls here on the channel where I talk about all the things I'm going to make and then making practically nothing like last year, I think this year what I'm going to do is set myself the challenge of just doing 4 projects this summer. That's right, only 4 projects, which for me is practically nothing, but practically nothing is still better than actually nothing, which is what I've been sewing lately. So we're going to go ahead and try and do 4 projects this summer, or I am, and I'm going to share them all with you by scheduling almost due dates for myself and doing video diaries for each of the things I plan on making this summer. Hopefully that will keep me accountable and make sure I do at least get those 4 projects done. I also will have some extra credit assignments given to myself too, so hopefully if I do finish my one assignment for the month or whatever, I will be able to fit in another project as well. But again, those are just bonuses because being real with myself, I didn't get very much sewing done at all last year. And so this is a new strategy to try and get any sewing done this summer pretty much, just because I have so much else going on now with videos and writing and trying to keep up with it all that I just haven't made the time for sewing that I would like to. So we're going to change that this summer with this new strategy. For my first project, my project for June, here I'm only scheduling one project for June, that's right. I plan on making a white eyelet button back blouse with a puffy sleeve. I made a button back blouse. Button-back blouse is kind of hard to say. Back over the holiday season, I made a striped silk button-back blouse here on the channel. I'll put a card up to the video where I struggled through that one because I had really forgotten how to make these, but most of the time I know what I'm doing when I make these because I've made so many over the years, and I plan on making another one very similar to these 1940s pattern images I will show you here now, just with like a little puff sleeve and maybe some gathering at the neckline, and then of course the buttons down the back. I'll be making that out of this white eyelet-y seersucker-ish fabric. I realize it doesn't actually have any punches out of it like eyelet does, so it doesn't have any of like the holes that make an eyelet fabric. So this is almost just like a white seersucker with an embroidered flower on here in white cotton thread. This fabric I actually have already pre-washed because I really intended on making this blouse last summer and then never got to it, of course. So something like this is going to be awesome in my wardrobe. Because I don't have very much like true white in my wardrobe, it's something that's missing. I would be really glad to have something like this to pair with any of my circle skirts, any of my pencil skirts. Of course, this is just like, this works with pants even, like my black capris that I have now. So I think this will work with so much of my wardrobe. It'll be really nice, fresh, summery, crisp piece, but of course I have to make it. And so that's going to be my project for June, making the white eyelet blouse. Now I have set myself an extra credit assignment for June as well, and that is to finally use this really pretty cotton sateen from moodfabrics.com that I got a couple of years ago. I really just want to make a very simple dress out of this, something just with a pattern that I've always used before or used a lot before, and then just a center back railroaded zipper. Nothing too complex, nothing too crazy, probably just a facing, not even a lining. A very simple dress to add as my extra credit assignment for June. So if I find another day that I can fill with sewing, which I really should because I honestly, I need it. It's like I can't go on a vacation. So just taking a whole day to just listen to podcasts and do some sewing probably would be good for me. So hopefully I'll find time to do this extra credit assignment for myself as well. My second and third project for this summer are going to be scheduled in the month of July. So I hope to get 2 projects done in July. The first being a really simple dress, something 1940s dress probably, out of this rayon challis fabric. It's just this grass green sort of colored, or dark grass green colored fabric, but it has little clusters of lavender flowers, and then some of the clusters are actually little ballerinas or like dancing girls. I'll put up a close-up image of this fabric for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. I like how it's such a subtle novelty print. It seems very 40s to me. They had a lot of really fun novelty print rayons in the 1940s. Of course, theirs were usually rayon crepe instead of something like a rayon challis, which is, I don't know, a very 90s fabric almost. It seems like it was used so much just because of the thrift stores. There's a lot of rayon challis dresses that are from the 90s, but I'm not sure if challis was as common back in the 40s. I don't seem to see it mentioned as much, but I'll be using it to make a 1940s dress. I always fall for rayon challis when I'm out and about. When I'm at like Joann's and stuff like that, I always fall in love with the prints and end up picking them up just because I'm like, it's rayon, it's a cute print, it's nearly there. If only it were a crepe, but it usually isn't. That's how I end up with so much rayon challis, but I'm finally going to put some of it to use this summer. Last year I did make a navy blue and floral dress, a very simple dress, which is what I plan on doing with this fabric again this year. Probably just another gathered skirt and simple bodice for this one, just because I don't really love working with rayon challis because it is kind of more delicate and a little bit slippy compared to my favorite cottons. So I don't want to do anything too complex, and I don't have a lot of fabric to do anything complex with. For my third project this summer, I'm going to pull out another rayon challis. So it'll be 2 challis dresses in July. This will be the second one in a lovely tropical print here. This one is from Joann's. Some of you may have been here around here on the channel long enough to remember me talking about this fabric in my fabric haul last year. Of course, I never got to making the dress, hence why we have a new strategy this year. But this fabric is just so gorgeous. I love a tropical print. As we know on this channel, I love tropical prints. It'll be nice to have some dresses instead of just my new Hawaiian shirt obsession. But I plan on making a 1940s dress out of this one with like some asymmetric draping on the skirt, maybe even like a sort of sash-like sort of situation or a bow or something like that. And then a little bit more detailing up here on the bodice as well, showing some examples of dresses that are inspiring me for this one. But I'm really excited to get to this project. It'll be a little bit more of a challenge, but it's good to put one extra project in if I'm only going to be making 4, right? Yeah. As for July's extra credit project, I do have a vague idea of finally using up some of the black eyelet fabric that I bought last year from fabric.com. Hopefully I'll have time to make a black eyelet dress, but again, just extra credit. We'll see how, full July gets. It's a busy month. It's my birthday month, so we'll see if I have time for extra credit assignments after those 2 challis dresses. Challis is a little bit harder to work with, so I should be taking my time with those, so we'll see if we have time for our third project in July, but those are the tentative July plans. For my fourth project, I'm kind of planning an early August due date for this one. I have this lovely cotton sateen fabric that I talked about last year in my fabric.com haul. Here it is. Still not a dress, still just a pile of fabric, but we're going to change that. I hope to make this into a 1950s style dress, something with a fuller skirt and then big pockets on the skirt. I'll show a couple of images again of kind of what I have in mind here for this one. Something not too difficult, pretty simple in general, except for the extra detail of the pockets. And I'll show you guys in that video that I'll make for this project how I draft those pockets and how I make them and put them together and all that stuff. I hope to get into quite a lot of detail on these project diary videos. Again, doing those videos will help keep me accountable and actually make sure I get these projects done because they're on my video schedule and I can't just ignore my schedule now, can I? No, unlike I do ignore my piles of fabric down here. Not forever. No longer. Now, for projects, it's just so few, and I will be making 2 dresses in July, so why not make 2 items in August as well? But what would I do for my 5th project? Indeed, this is where you all come in. For each of these other 4 projects, I will be documenting how I modify my pattern if I have to, how I go about cutting it, like laying out and cutting out the fabric, how I prep my pieces, how I sew them together, really diarying the process of putting everything together. So what would you guys like to see me make as my 5th and final project of the summer? Of course, this video won't come out until late August, but if you would like to see me make one of my twill suits perhaps, or a certain style of dress, or work with a certain fabric and see how I would go about making that and showing you the steps of me making something, what would you like it to be? Basically, I chose 4 projects and you guys are going to choose the 5th one for me. So let me know in the comments below what you would like to see me make at the end of this summer sewing project. Basically, my last final assignment of the year. Instead of giving it to myself, I'll let you guys assign me a project. I also just want to take a moment here in this video to acknowledge why I don't or haven't made many sewing videos here on my channel, even though I am, I have an apparel design degree. I'm a seamstress, just haven't been doing much of it lately, hence why we needed the strategy today. But I don't make a lot of sewing videos on my channel just because they don't do as well as everything else. So to be very honest and transparent about it, I am, as you guys know, if you watch my side hustle and series here on the channel, trying to turn my channel into a bit of a part-time job or like side hustle for myself where I can make a little bit of a part-time income. And so I do try and make my videos successful. And so if I put something up and it doesn't do very well, which is what historically has happened with my sewing videos here on this channel, I kind of learned to not make more videos like those in the future. So that's kind of what's happened with sewing. Every time I put up a sewing video, they don't perform as well as other videos do here on my channel. So I've kind of learned to not make them, and I do want to make them, but I do want to make all kinds of videos. So I usually just focus on other ideas that I have as opposed to sewing, just because sewing doesn't do as well. But what I want to do is ask all of you what kinds of sewing videos you want to see from me. Is that pattern drafting videos? Is that like different textiles, like information, or like historical sewing techniques and things like that? I'm less interested in that, honestly. But like, let me know what kind of sewing videos you're interested in, specific techniques, vague ideas. What do you guys want to know about sewing, about my process, about sewing vintage reproduction clothing? Put those ideas in the comments below and I will see what the kind of consensus is and try and make videos. If I'm going to make videos about sewing and they might not do as well on the channel, I really want to make sure they are super helpful for you and like worth both of our time in that way. So I want to see what you guys want the most. Like what do you all want from me. I want to give the people, you in this case, what you want. So please also include that in the comments below, what kind of sewing videos you would like to see from me in the future. That way I can better plan my sewing related content for the channel and make sure that it's something that you guys actually want to see. So that is my sewing strategy for summer 2019. I'm kind of making it more of a assignment-based, regimented thing in the hopes that I can finally actually get some sewing done. Of course, all of you, because I'll be sharing these project diaries and you will know to expect videos from me covering these projects, you can keep me accountable here on the channel. So if you notice I haven't put anything up about my sewing in a long time, you can poke me a little bit in the comments and say, so how's that dress coming along? And then I'll know I have to get it done and get that video up for all of you. So please do leave me your ideas for that 5th project in the comments below, and then any other sewing videos you want from me. Leave that kind of stuff in the comments below. I'll respond to any questions you have down there. Of course, I'll be around in the comments as usual. And thank you, as always, for tuning in today. I'll see you again soon. Bye.